What's up, guys? Back again for today's show. So, since the last show on Friday, FA Cup final has come and gone. Manchester City being victorious over Manchester United. To be honest, it was a closer game than I anticipated. Manchester City with an early goal. Manchester United managing to get back into the game and make it 1-1, and Manchester City scoring a second goal to win the game. Gundogan scoring both of those goals. It was actually quite a competitive game. Manchester United were very, very solid defensively. They managed to keep Haaland quiet. They managed to keep De Bruyne relatively quiet for his standards. But Gundogan, another world-class midfielder, they couldn't shackle him. That's the problem with Manchester City. If you manage to keep Grealish quiet, De Bruyne, Haaland, then they have Bernardo Silva that can hurt you. They have Gundogan that can hurt you. They have so much quality in their attacking positions. Manchester United did play very well defensively. The defence, the right back, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, I think he was playing Varane, and Luke Shaw, they all played very well. David De Gea didn't have his best game. He's been highlighted again for his errors during that game. It's going to be very interesting to see if he does sign a new contract. And if he does sign a new contract, is he going to be the number one keeper? Because most of the top teams now want a goalkeeper that can play out from the back. They want to play progressive football that starts at the back, and that means that, you know, the goalkeeper has to be good with their feet, and David De Gea isn't that. He's been at Manchester United for a long time now. He's a very, very good shot stopper. He's a very good old school sort of goalkeeper, but moving forward, is David De Gea the goalkeeper that Man United need in order for them to progress? It's going to be interesting, to be honest with you. I am a massive fan of David De Gea. I do think his confidence goes up and down. If his confidence is up, he is one of the best goalkeepers in the world. He probably needs a better defence in front of him to give him more protection. But we'll see what happens in that department. As for Manchester City, they played as we all expected them to play. They ticked off another trophy on their quest for their treble. I did want them to win. I'm glad that they won. I thought they were going to smash Manchester United, to be honest with you, but it was a much more tight game than I anticipated. I give credit to Eric Ten Hag for setting Manchester United up to be difficult to beat. But that being said, their attacking players, Sancho and Rashford, didn't have the best game. Also, Bruno Fernandes didn't have the best game. They weren't at their best. You can see that they desperately need a striker, someone like a Harry Kane, or even a Victor Osimhen, someone of that quality. I don't want Victor Osimhen to go to Manchester United. I prefer if he stayed at Napoli or went to another team in Europe or came to my beloved Arsenal. But that's the sort of level of striker that they need. Seeing on the net and seeing on, the social medias and all that, some Manchester United fans criticising Rashford, and, I think that's absolutely, pathetic. It's absolutely nonsensical, stupid. Rashford has been one of the best attacking players in Europe this season. He has been Manchester United's best attacking player this season. He scored a whole lot of goals. He's been back to his best, probably gone past levels he's been before. Listen, he didn't have his best game, but, at the end of the day, he's not really a striker. He plays off the left, cutting in, and I'm sure that when Manchester United do sign a striker, and Rashford is just, all he has to do is play on the left, that you're going to see the best out of Rashford for years and years to come, playing for Manchester United. But some fans criticising him, absolutely nonsensical. The guy's been absolutely phenomenal this season. And, just see the bigger picture. Just don't look at one game and have this sort of knee-jerk reaction. See the bigger picture and see how good he's been for the entirety of the season. And also Sancho. Sancho's a very good player. I'm a massive fan of Jadon Sancho. I think his ceiling is exceptionally high. He's had some problems personally, how Eric Ten Hag has managed that. He's let him have a break, and he's brought him back into the team. And since he's been back, I think he's played quite well. He didn't have his best game on Saturday, but he's played quite well since he's been back. So support these lads. These are good players for club and for country. Garnacho came on. He made a very good impact. Could have scored a couple goals. Maybe Eric Ten Hag could have brought him on sooner, but it's easy to say in retrospect because, you know, managers want to keep the game solid. They want to keep the game steady. The game was still in a balance at that point. Man United weren't getting destroyed. So, you know, positive for Manchester United. 2 cup finals, 1 trophy, 3rd in the Premier League. Debut season ain't bad. All right, so that leads me on to my next subject. Who had a better season, Manchester United or Arsenal? Now, Arsenal were involved in 4 competitions and lost all 4 of them. Carabao Cup, FA Cup, Europa League and Premier League. Manchester United were involved in also 4 competitions and they won one. They won the Carabao Cup. They also got to a final of the FA Cup. They also finished 3rd in the Premier League and they got knocked out in the Europa League by Sevilla, who eventually went on to win the competition. So I'm an Arsenal fan, but I'm not like most delusional Arsenal fans that are biased and don't really understand football. Manchester United had a better season than Arsenal. Very simply, they won a trophy. I respect every major trophy in football. I want my club to win every single major trophy in football that is available to them to win every season. And Manchester United won a Carabao Cup. I would love if Arsenal win a Carabao Cup every season as a starting point for further success. They also got to the final of the FA Cup, losing to the best team in Europe and the world at the moment in a very competitive game, not getting blown away, keeping it competitive. And they lost in the Europa League to the eventual winners, the best Europa League team of all time, Sevilla. So when you actually analyse it, they did have a better season than Arsenal. They were in a title race for a little bit, but not really. Arsenal were leading the title race for weeks and weeks, for a massive, prolonged period of time, and they still lost it, and they bottled it the last 10 weeks of the season, losing and drawing to teams that Arsenal, which really Arsenal should be called No Pressure FC, should have beaten. And that is the truth as an Arsenal fan. It hurts me to say, but Manchester United did have a better season than Arsenal. And there's so many arrogant Manchester United fans that I argue with and I debate with all the time. But I'm a realist. I know my football. I know my stuff. Manchester United won a trophy. Arsenal didn't win a trophy. So they had a better season than Arsenal. Now, if Manchester United didn't finish in the top 4, they wouldn't have had a better season than Arsenal. If they finished 5th and below, they wouldn't have had a better season than Arsenal. Even if they did win a trophy. But they did. So, from my perspective, there's no difference between 2nd and 3rd. They're both losers. City won. Champions League is 4th, 3rd, 2nd and 1st. So for me, 2nd, 3rd and 4th, you're all in the same bracket. You got into the Champions League, but you didn't win a trophy. And no, the Champions League is not a trophy. So Manchester City won the league. That's success. Arsenal, Manchester United and Newcastle, for me, they had about the same season. Arsenal and Newcastle had the same sort of season, but Manchester United had a better season than both of them because they won a trophy. And they almost won 2 trophies. There's no difference between 2nd, 3rd and 4th. We're all in the Champions League, but we all lost to Manchester City. And that is the harsh reality. Yeah? 1st is where you want to be. And Arsenal were 1st for a long time and they bottled it in the last 10 weeks of the season, the title running. So for me, the way I look at football, I want to win trophies. There's no difference between 2nd, 3rd and 4th. You're in the Champions League. The only difference in the top 4 places is the one that wins, the one that's number 1, and that's because they win the title, they win the trophy. So that's how I see it. Manchester United did have a better season than Arsenal, as much as it pains me, and that is the reality. And if anyone says any different, if any Arsenal fan says any different, they're delusional and biased. If a Manchester United fan says different, they don't understand. Winning is the currency of these top teams. Winning, getting trophies in the cabinet is the currency of the top teams. And Manchester United did it. Manchester City did it. Newcastle and Arsenal did not, so they're in the same position for me. And that's how it goes. But I want to move on to transfers. First, I want to talk about a managerial transfer, which is the manager of Celtic. What's his name? Is Postecoglou, something like that. I'll check it in a minute. He is, well, it looks like he's going to go to Tottenham from Celtic. He's been at Celtic for a couple of seasons, and he's on course. Well, I think he's already won. No, this gone weekend. He's completed the domestic treble at Celtic. Postecoglou. So, what do I think of that? Now, Tottenham are a shambles. They've been a shambles all season. How Daniel Levy has handled it. Conte got himself out of the club, not getting a new manager straight away. They had Enrique, they had Nagelsmann on the radar. They turned them down. They had the manager from Feyenoord, he turned them down. And it looks like their fourth or fifth choice is Postecoglou. Now, in my opinion, anyone coming from the Scottish League, what they've achieved in that league has to be taken with a grain of salt. It can't be taken too seriously. Look in the past. Martin O'Neill, a good manager. I have a lot of respect for Martin O'Neill, old school manager now, but he done exceptionally well with Celtic. Not so well in the Premier League. He was a mid-table manager. Gerrard came from Rangers, securing their first SPL title in years. Comes to Aston Villa, absolutely shit, gets sacked. Brendan Rodgers, another good manager, done amazingly well at Celtic, won more trophies than Postecoglou, came over to Leicester, won an FA Cup, got them fifth for 2 years in a row. And this season, the capitulation, he gets sacked and Leicester go down. Now, I'm hearing a lot of fans ring up sports media channels and say, oh, Postecoglou, he's a top manager. Spurs are being disrespected. He's going to achieve so much. They like his style of football. They like his motivation, how he is with the players. The Scottish League is the ultimate farmers' league. I could win the title repetitively with Celtic in that league. Me, and if I get good coaching staff around me, I can do it. What you achieve in the Scottish League with Celtic shouldn't really be taken seriously. And I don't mean to have any disrespect. Celtic is a big club, historical club. Rangers are a big club, historical club. But you see the transition from managers who have come from the Scottish League and gone to the Premier League. They don't hit the same heights. So I don't understand how Spurs fans are excited about this appointment. He was fifth choice. No one was talking about Postecoglou before Nagelsmann, before Enrique, before Poch, before the Feyenoord manager. Fifth choice. And now he's about to come in and, you know, he's amazing. He's an amazing motivator. He plays an amazing brand of football. The pundits are, they've got an agenda against Spurs and they disrespect Spurs and no, nonsense. Now, I anticipate that Postecoglou, you know, let me just check my phone and make sure I'm actually saying his name right. Hold on. Hold on a minute. Postecoglou. Let's have a look. Celtic manager. Postecoglou. Ange Postecoglou. Now, I'm pretty sure that... Oh, that's a handful. Let's have a look here. Banter, innit? Postecoglou. Now, I'm pretty sure that Postecoglou is going to come to the Prem and he's going to flop. I'm putting it out there. And it's not because he's not a good manager. It's because the level between the Scottish Premier League and the Premier League is massive. Postecoglou, you're better off staying with Celtic and waiting for one of them European jobs to come up, like an Ajax or a PSV or, I don't know, a Napoli, a Roma, something like that. Bayer Leverkusen or FC Leipzig, one of them jobs. Because all of the managers that have gone to Spurs have been ruined. Jose got sacked before he could have won them a trophy, the Carabao Cup. Conte done well his first season, second season after spending millions. Apparently Spurs won the transfer window and then they do shit and they haven't been backed enough. No, Daniel Levy has backed his managers. Conte, his ship sinks, it capitulates, he's gone. 2 world-class managers, top managers. Poch, it falls apart and he doesn't want to go back. He's at Chelsea now. Postecoglou is going to come to Spurs and he is going to fail. And I anticipate it's going to be early. Nuno Espirito Santo goes to Tottenham, starts well, wins his first 3 games, collapse. There's a mental thing at Spurs with the players. They're not winners. Daniel Levy doesn't care about winning or trophies. He runs Spurs as a business, that's clear. And it's successful in that. The stadium's paying for itself. Spurs off the field are ran well. On the field, historically never been a big club, never won any trophies. And presently, not a big club, don't win any trophies. So I don't understand how Postecoglou is going to come and change that dynamic. Especially from Celtic. Listen, he's going to have a massive shock when he comes to this league. And he sees the competitiveness of it. Him and his predecessors that have come from Celtic or the Scottish League into the Premier League, he's going to follow the same sort of pattern. Mediocrity. Mediocrity. And I anticipate that the wheels will quickly fall off for Postecoglou. Now, I'm sure he's a nice guy. He's a good manager. But this is a job that many top managers have turned down, that many top managers have failed in, and he sees this as a step up for his career, but it probably could be a mistake and bring his stock right down. So it looks like Postecoglou is going to be coming to Spurs, but I anticipate that he will fail and the wheels will come off sooner rather than later, and the shit show that is Spurs will carry on, and it will entertain me and entertain us greatly. Now let's move on from Postecoglou and let's move on to another Spurs asset, and that is Harry Kane. Now, interestingly, Real Madrid have come in for Harry Kane and have identified him as their main target to replace Karim Benzema. Kane, hop on the plane and fly to Madrid. Get there. Harry Kane, let me make this clear. I wasn't a fan of yours. I always thought you were slightly overrated. Have had loads of debates with friends, bets with friends, some friends who still haven't paid their debts that they owe me for losing those bets about how many goals you're going to score in a season, blah, blah, blah in the past. But this season, you impress me, Harry. Scoring 30 goals in this shit Spurs team. Without those goals, Spurs will be closer to relegation, fighting a relegation scrap. That is impressive. And the quality of the goals that Harry Kane has scored this campaign have been superb. He's literally carried that team on his back. Richarlison, the worst Premier League's transfer in history, shocking. Mora, shocking. Son's been shocking. Kulusevski not hitting the heights that he did last season. So it's literally been Harry Kane on his own. And you know what? I rate that. I actually think Harry Kane scoring 30 goals in this shit Spurs team is more impressive than Haaland scoring 36 goals in this Manchester City team. To be honest, I think it's more impressive. And I'm not even a fan of Harry Kane. Most of you who know me personally know I'm not a fan of Harry Kane. But I need to hold my hands up and say when something impresses me, and that impresses me. And that proves to me that Harry Kane is a world-class striker, and he is one of the best strikers in the world, and he is in his prime at this precise moment in time. Haaland is better than Harry Kane, but I think Harry Kane scoring 30 goals in this shit Spurs team and Haaland scoring 36 goals in Manchester City, I think that's more impressive. Phenomenal. If Real Madrid want you, go, mate. There's going to be a whole host of clubs that are going to try and sign Harry Kane. Manchester United, maybe Newcastle, maybe Chelsea. But Real Madrid have made it clear they want to sign Harry Kane. And I know Harry Kane must have stayed in England, beat Shearer's record and all that. This is Real Madrid. Only a couple players have said no to Real Madrid. And they're legendary, iconic players. GOAT players. Harry Kane. I don't care what you do. For me, it's banter. You've not won a trophy. But if Real Madrid want you, you walk to Madrid. Swim there if you need to. Hitchhike. Get to Madrid. Sign that contract. Be part of the team that's going to be rebuilt. Because Harry Kane at Real Madrid would be fire. Perfection. And then there's the question, but if Mbappe comes on a free next season, does that mean Harry Kane is going to be surplus to accounts? I don't think so. Because I think that Mbappe's position is on the left anyway. And I know that's Vinny's position, but I think Harry Kane, even if Mbappe does come in, I think Harry Kane's still going to play as the 9. And I think that Mbappe will play on the left. That if that means that Vinny's going to play as a 10, or does that mean that if that means Vinny's going to play on the right, I don't know. But an attacking three of Mbappe, Harry Kane and Vinny in the future would be a massa. So it's going to be very interesting to see what Harry Kane does. And it's going to be very interesting to see how the domestic teams, the big teams in this country, like Chelsea, Newcastle, Manchester United, how they respond. Because I thought that Manchester United would be the favourites to sign Harry Kane. And I still think that they're going to try. But now that Real Madrid have come in and made their intentions clear, where does that leave Harry Kane's mindset? You know, what's he thinking? Real Madrid? Is he waiting for other offers? Does he want to stay at Spurs? It's going to be interesting. But I don't think that Postecoglou going to Spurs is enough to keep Harry Kane. If he has any sense. Even an iota of sense. Postecoglou coming to Spurs, he ain't going to take him forward. So it's going to be very interesting to see what Harry Kane does. And I think that's going to be the transfer saga of the summer. Where does the England captain, where does one of the best strikers in the world, where does he end up this summer? Does he stay at Spurs? Are Newcastle going to sign him? Chelsea, Manchester United, or is he going to go to the biggest club in the world, in Europe, Real Madrid? I'm going to be watching this ever so closely. So guys, I'm so glad to be back. I was looking forward to making this video. I will be back tomorrow for another one. So please, if you like what you see, if you like the content, please smash the like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll see you very soon for the next one. Peace.